Before an AI management system can be governed, it has to be clearly defined. In this module, we'll connect scope, boundaries, stakeholders, and inventory, so every AI system has clear ownership, appropriate controls, lifecycle status, and evidence for ISO IEC 42001 certification. We've moved from why ISO IEC 42001 exists to how an AI management system operates. Now we narrow the focus: what the aims includes, where its boundaries sit, and which AI systems need to be inventoried for governance. Scoping and aims is an architectural decision because it defines what governance must actually cover. It is not limited to departments or legal entities. It includes AI applications, models, data pipelines, APIs, cloud services, supporting processes, and human responsibilities. When that boundary is vague, controls can be duplicated or missed, ownership becomes unclear, and audit evidence weakens. A clear scope helps teams align architecture, risk controls, lifecycle activities, and monitoring from the start. Organizational scope answers a practical question: who is inside the AI management system, and who is accountable for what? Start with every unit that designs, buys, deploys, operates, or monitors AI. Then connect the supporting functions, including product, engineering, data science, legal, compliance, security, risk, procurement, and operations. Finally, name owners for the system, model, data, platform, and business process. Scope may be enterprise-wide or limited to a division, product line, or regulated function. Technical scope turns the aims from a policy statement into an operating boundary. It identifies which AI products, platforms, services, and environments are governed, from development through production. It also includes the supporting stack: feature stores, model registries, vector databases, APIs, cloud services, and monitoring. The key distinction is maturity. Production systems need full governance. Experiments and sandboxes may use lighter controls, but they still need ownership, traceability, and clear rules for when they move into scope. External scope makes dependencies visible. If an AI system relies on a model API, cloud platform, labeled dataset, SaaS feature, or outsourced monitoring team, that party affects your aims. The key question is control. Some components you govern directly. Some are shared, especially in cloud and managed ML services. Others are controlled through contracts, supplier reviews, and risk monitoring. Your scope statement should name these boundaries clearly, so third-party behavior does not become an unmanaged blind spot. Scope is also shaped by where the system is built, deployed, accessed, or creates impact. User groups change the risk picture as well. Employees, customers, citizens, developers, operators, and people affected by decisions. Then add the regulatory layer, including sector rules, data sensitivity, jurisdiction, and whether the system supports automated decisions. These dimensions help determine how strong controls must be, what documentation is required, and who is accountable for oversight. A certification-ready AIM scope statement must be specific enough for an auditor to test. Define which business units, AI systems or categories, lifecycle phases, locations, users, technologies, suppliers, and dependencies are covered. State exclusions clearly, with a reason that can withstand challenge. Avoid broad claims like all AI unless governance truly reaches everything. Finally, reconcile the wording with your inventory, risk assessments, policies, controls, owner approval, and review cadence. An AI system inventory is more than a list of tools. It is the source of truth for what AI exists, who owns it, where it runs, and which governance duties apply. That visibility supports risk classification, monitoring, audits, incident response, and management review. For architects, the inventory links business use cases to models, datasets, APIs, pipelines, and platforms. The key is keeping it current as systems change, not updating it only for compliance. Each inventory record should connect 4 contexts. Business context explains why the system exists and who it affects. Technical context shows how it works and what data or integrations it depends on. Governance context records risk, approvals, controls, and accountability. Operational context tracks whether it is live, performing as expected, experiencing incidents, due for review, or ready for retirement. Many AI inventories begin as spreadsheets, and that is acceptable for early discovery. But they should not stay there. As the program matures, the inventory needs owners, version history, review workflows, and links into the systems teams already use, such as CMDBs, data catalogs, GRC tools, MLOps platforms, and cloud inventories. Automation can populate many facts, but people still validate purpose, risk, accountability, and ethical impact. That is what turns a list into governance infrastructure. For every AI system in the inventory, ownership has to follow the system through its lifecycle. The business owner defines purpose and accepts outcome risk. Data, model, security, compliance, and platform teams contribute controls and evidence as the system is built, validated, deployed, and monitored. The key is separating who performs the work from who is accountable. If ownership is unclear, approvals, validation, incident response, reviews, and retirement decisions become unreliable. Boundary mapping turns AIM's scope into an engineering view of what the system actually depends on. Capture the AI-enabled applications, model services, data pipelines, prompts, monitoring, APIs, and human review steps that influence outcomes. Then separate internal components from external providers, SaaS platforms, foundation models, open source libraries, and third-party datasets. This matters because controls differ. Direct controls inside the boundary, contractual controls outside it, and ongoing assurance wherever external behavior can change risk. Validation turns scope from an assumption into a controlled management system. First, prove completeness by reconciling the AI inventory with cloud assets, model registries, product and data catalogs, procurement records, and architecture repositories. Then prove accuracy. Owners, lifecycle stage, risk class, monitoring needs, and environments must be current. Finally, test boundaries by tracing data flows, APIs, suppliers, and human workflows. Keep durable evidence, including approved scope, inventory exports, diagrams, review logs, risk records, and management approvals. The main takeaway is simple. Effective ISO IEC 1421 controls start with clarity. Define the AIM scope, maintain a reliable AI inventory, and map the architecture boundary. Together, these artifacts turn governance requirements into risk-based control choices and evidence. Next, we'll interpret annex controls as practical architecture decisions.